Guys, I did something. Yep, I did it. I got a Starlink. I'm crazy because I live in the middle of town and I absolutely don't need it. But I saw Starlink and I wanted it. So what I'm going to use Starlink for is not my main ISP. I'm going to use it as a failover for my cable. So my normal day-to-day internet is going to be my cable internet. But when stuff hits the fan and there's a power outage or a big storm, it's going to automatically change over to Starlink in the router, and I will continue having internet at my house with no interruptions. So that's my plan for it. I'm not getting rid of my current ISP. I'm just using Starlink as an auxiliary to augment the reliability of my internet service here at my house. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed and see what's going on up in here. Alright, so I figured I would do this POV so everybody can just see exactly what is included and how it's included in there. So let's go ahead and undo this. And I guess my puppers is going to help me. Let's see. Alright. Alright, here is our instructions. We got download the app. Okay, I haven't done that. We got to put it outside on its little stand, and it says don't touch. So we can figure that. That shows that little person outside in the sunshine. So that's outside. And then we got looks like the darker shaded one goes to the dish and the lighter one goes to the receiver, and then you use the app. So that's pretty simple instructions here. I think even I can figure that out. Let's go ahead and look at the included accessories here. So here is the stand. Pretty self-explanatory. We got, oh, everything's already plugged in. Look at that. You can't screw it up if it's already plugged in. So the white one is plugged into the router and the dark one is plugged into the dish already. I mean, that's pretty straightforward when it's already done for you, so no chance of screwing that up. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it so I can take things out without, you know, making a huge mess. So here is the router. It's a very angular and nice. I mean, that looks like a brushed finish, and then it's white on the back. Nice looking router. Okay, let's set that aside. And then we got the power brick. Starlink power supply. It says PoE. Not much else to see there. Total is 180 watts. Let's take that out and set it aside. So now the only thing left in the box is some more protection, and that is a giant dish. I mean, seeing it on the internet does not do it justice in person. I mean, this looks like, if you've ever worked with professional Ubiquiti Wi-Fi dishes, I mean, this thing is massive. Beautiful. All right, so looks like you just have little pegs here, and voila! Installation complete. Now I just got to go outside and give Dishy a good location to see the sky, and we'll run some speed tests. Thanks for your help, Doug. You're all up in my way. So the original idea I had for Dishy, just as a temporary setup, was to use the tripod and kind of set it in the middle of my backyard. And it takes a few minutes. Actually, once you turn it on, it'll go to the straight up setting pretty quick. But after that, it takes a few minutes before it angles down to point kind of to the north. From what I understand, most Starlink dishes point generally to the north. So after a few minutes, it'll point to the north. And I had no obstructions with the Dishy sitting in the middle of my yard like this. There was just one little tiny problem. So as you can see, Dishy is not in the yard anymore. And the problem I had was, let me show you. This is Mo. He's my robotic lawnmower, and he mows automatically. So I can't be having Dishy just chilling out there in the yard. So let me show you what I did. Excuse me, duck. There's Dishy, make flat face up there on my roof. I got him secured with some garden, I don't know, barriers, whatever you want to call those. They're cement and they're heavy. He's going to eventually live up there higher on the roof. I have a pole mount coming, and he'll eventually live higher on the roof, but for right now he's just going to chill right there. I don't think it'll bother him any. I checked the obstruction app on the phone, and there doesn't seem to be anything in front of him there. So I got the cable run. Oh gosh, I don't think I can show you that. Well, anyway, the cable runs that way, and then it goes into the roof up there by the TV antenna. There's a hole in the eave by that TV antenna, and then it runs through the attic and drops. I am beat. I've been in the attic. I'm going to get inside and finish this install, and I will see y'all in the next scene.
One eternity later.
So the FedEx guy just dropped off this package to me, and it was kind of busted open already. So hopefully everything is in here. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is my pole mount. So that is huge. The pole on my roof is not that wide, so we'll see how that works out. But what do we got here? What is this? What is this for? Some kind of carrying case, maybe. I don't know, but that's cool, I guess. Got some installation. Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure if this is for anything other than to carry it with, but all right. So what do we got in here? Oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't have dumped that out. This is cable management stuff to run your wire along somewhere. I don't do cable management. I just leave things laying around. So we'll go ahead and put that back in the box. We got this, and we got those. So the dish is going to mount into this thing without any bolts. And it looks like 1, 2. So all these go along the bottom here. Yeah. All right. So I guess let's go up to the roof and see how we're going to mount this. Okay. I'm pretty fat for this. All right. So here's my current setup, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put it on the top of that where that weather vane is up there. Warning, do not take what I do as the proper way to do anything. Take what I do for entertainment purposes only. I southern engineer lots of things and do things wrong. So do not use what I do as a proper example. That is a skinny pipe, though. This is a jumbo pipe, and that is a skinny pipe. Well, I don't need this TV antenna anymore, so we'll probably start by just taking this TV antenna down. So I got all the antennas and the weather. Oh, it's gonna get windy. I'll try to shield it from the wind. I got all the antenna and the weather vane down, but I really don't think that is so skinny. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work very well. Let me figure something else out. I don't think this is a good idea here. Okay, so I got everything off up there, and I turned this pole upside down, and if all else fails, I guess it won't be horrible because the bottom part is thicker than the top part, but I still think it's a little tall. I don't need it sticking up that high over my house. I have these shorter green poles. At least I feel like these green poles are shorter. I could check one of them to see what it looks like up there. Alright, so this won't come undone. That's not good. So that's the end of the bottom one. It just broke off. You can see there. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the bottom one here. Lord have mercy. There's a new problem. I can't get this nut out. After much effort, I got that out. And now that will fit through the top one anyway. Oh man. Let's see, maybe. Gosh, so close. Maybe I can find some way to get this bolt out of there. Or at least back it up a little. Alright, I'm having to screw these in pretty far, but that's okay. It's almost tight enough to where I can't spin it anymore. Alright, there it is. You just want to kind of do these evenly. This is about as tight as I think it needs to be. Alright. Let's go down here to my mess of stuff and get the dish and put it on. I'm going to go ahead and log into the dish here and put it in stow mode. So now we can move it without having to worry about the motors. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to go ahead and unlatch these feet. And we're just going to carry this thing up the roof, trying not to trip over the cable, and attach it into this new roof mount. go. All right. There she is. Now, I'm going to do a little cable management here. By cable management, I mean just stuff it all in a hole. It can just chill in there in my attic and not bother anybody. Let's go ahead and power cycle this thing and see if it reacquires Okay, it's rebooting now, so we're just gonna watch it. There it goes. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover here because the wind was just so bad. But what I was saying was the pole was nice and tight and the connection on the adapter was nice and tight, but I was still getting wiggle up in the dish if I shook it. And after I checked it for a minute, it looks like the wiggle is coming where the dish pole connects to the adapter. So there seems to be a little bit of a loose connection there. I'm going to have to maybe find some way to maybe put some felt or something in there to take up some of that extra slack so I don't get so much slop in the dish, because that can't really be good for the signal if the dish moves that much. Because if you see that right there, the dish wiggling that much, where it's pointing up in the air is changing quite a bit because it's so far away. So you don't want your dish to be moving at all. The only thing I really don't like is the amount of play and wobble I get out of this dish. And it's not my pipe, it's this connection here. It needs to be tightened up. You can see that little button in there moving and it just wobbles. There's a lot of wobble. Alright, as good as I can do. The last month I've owned this Starlink, I'm going to have to admit I get between 6 and 20 minutes of downtime every day. So it's obviously in beta right now. At my latitude, I don't think it's quite ready for prime time yet. I can't do any gaming on it because that, say, 6 to 20 minutes of downtime isn't all at once. It's spread out, like maybe every 5 to 15 minutes I'm without service for 10 to 20 seconds. Sometimes even less than 10 seconds. It's pretty quick. But that's long enough to kick me out of my online gaming session and back to the title screen, so I can't game on it. It's pretty much okay for like YouTube. During some of the longer outages, I've been out for 2 minutes at a time before. I will lose my YouTube and it'll just go to buffering until it comes back. But most of the time, the short outages, they're short enough to the buffer can soak it up and you don't notice it. But for online gaming and live TV, like IPTV, or what's the teleconferencing everybody's using? Zoom. Maybe if you're on a Zoom call. No, it's just not cutting it for those applications yet. But they're launching more satellites all the time. There's a lot of satellites up there right now that aren't at the proper elevation, so they're not turned on yet. So there's quite a chunk of the constellation that's not even turned on up there yet. So once they get in position, they'll turn on those satellites and things will get much better. Obviously, it is a beta, so I don't expect anything out of it. I'm just thrilled to get to try it. When I am online and connected good to a satellite, it does get good download speeds around 200, and I would say I usually get about 20 up. So very good, especially for somebody that lives out in the country or the county or in the middle of nowhere, whatever you want to call it. That will be great for them. Do I recommend it right now? If you need it, I recommend it. Because people that need this, it will be so much better than anything you have. If you have access to high-speed cable, you don't need Starlink right now, unless you want to do it and try it out. It's not going to be better than a fiber optics or cable. The speed of light is only so fast, so the ping time will only be so low. And if you're in the middle of town and you have access to a better ISP, there's no reason to get it unless you just want to try it out like me. But like I said, for the most part, it's going to be a failover connection. So I'll be using my cable internet for the main part, and Starlink is the backup. Thanks for watching this unboxing and installation video. Remember, nothing I do here is probably the way it should be done. So if you don't know how to do this kind of thing, I am not a professional. Don't watch me and think I'm a good example on installations, because I'm just winging it just like everybody else. So that's my little disclaimer here. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, this thing's kind of heavy. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. I just noticed something. It has a hydrophobic coating on the dish, and I want to take a picture of that and show y'all. That was actually kind of scary. It's actually starting to get kind of sketchy out here. I'm coming in. She's up on the roof, and I'm tired.